What's up, guys? Garage floor evolution part 1. We have cleaned the garage floor with a power washer that's sitting up there. Next up is to clean it with chemical stuff, and then we will continue. I will catch you back in after every step, but first, clean garage. Well, and Luke. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we have now used that cleaner and cleaned the whole garage floor. The next step is to get a putty knife and fill in. You guys can probably see, you guys can see all the cracks down there. We're going to fill in all the cracks with a putty knife, and that'll be end of day 1. Tomorrow we will be installing the Rustoleum, Rock Solid, Gunmetal, whatever stuff, but before we do that we're going to etch it. Obviously we'll show you that whole process. So, putty knife, filling cracks, done with day 1. Okay guys, so we have now patched up all the cracks in the garage. What we're going to do now is let this dry overnight and into tomorrow morning, and then what we'll do is start the etching process, which is just basically putting chemicals down. So we will wipe to that footage now. That worked out pretty well though. What's going on, guys? Welcome to day 2 of the noise every time I turn this camera on. So this is day 2 of getting the garage floor figured out. So I've got the garage, like the Rock Solid stuff, coming in the mail later on. But while we're waiting for that, I got a circular sander at a home improvement store down the road. And we are going to be sanding down all of the concrete patching that we did yesterday. Like, it did a good job, but it's not smooth. And there's also some imperfections in the concrete that I think we can just smooth over with the sander. And that way it'll have the concrete ready so we can then etch it. We've got all that stuff that we got to do. And after all of that, we can finally put the material on. So first, sanding. So guys, that's an example of some of the little imperfections in the concrete. Now, there's more over here that I can show you. So I did a little bit of sanding on these guys, and you can tell they're a little smoother. But I'm pretty sure if I just keep sanding these guys down, we'll have a smooth surface. And then, if you look over here, there's the sander extension cord. This material is it's like perfectly smooth now, versus here you have the rough edges. So we're just gonna keep sanding this whole thing. Hopefully everything gets smoothed out. We got a lot of garage to do though. We have an update on grinding. Hold on. So, for grinding the patchwork, 150 does really good. I've gone through a lot of these pads, but this concrete has these little chunks of pieces. To get those off, we just grabbed 80 grit and this shit. Watch. Little thing, we got 80 grit on here. That thing is totally freaking gone. Oh man. Alright, so if you guys have little pieces of concrete on your floor, 80 grit. We have now sanded the entire floor, and looking back, no point in getting 220 grit sandpaper. Here's what you get. You get 150 and you get 80. 150 is what you do your normal stuff on, and then if you want anything off the floor, get the 80 grit, because that stuff is amazing. The next thing, I guess, is to start this etching process, which I don't know how that's gonna work, so let's see. So since we're using a Rustoleum product to put on the floor, I got Rustoleum etching stuff. You're supposed to mix this with a gallon of water and a flour pail. I'm just kidding. Everybody on YouTube had a flour pail, so I wanted to follow suit. We're gonna like pour this on the ground in a 10 by 10 section, scrub it, it'll froth up, then we're gonna rinse that 10 by 10 section. I'm pretty sure there's 4 10 by 10 sections back here. So once we get all of them done, we then have to rinse the whole thing 3 times. I'm gonna show you one 10 by 10 section, and then we will skip forward. We have now rinsed with the power washer the entire floor. So obviously we squeegeed it out, but it's still a little wet. So what we're gonna do now is let it dry because our Rock Solid stuff has still not got here in the mail yet. But while we wait for that, we're going to go do more research to make sure we are good to apply this stuff next. So whenever the Rock Solid stuff gets here, I'll jump back on here and update you then. But so far, so good. Yeah, and now I have extra tools in case I need things, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so welcome to day 3 of Chase. Waited 3 days for this Rock Solid stuff to actually get in. So today is the actual day. We have cleaned the garage floor. We have etched the garage floor. All we should have to do today is paint this stuff on. This is Rock Solid Rustoleum Metallic Floor Coating Kit. Full name. You're welcome. Thank you, 1AC, for turning off. So, you need a couple of things to do this. This stuff comes with a lot of stuff in it, but, all right, you need a power drill, one of these things. I don't have a battery in it, so that was epically terrible. This is to mix the material. These are too small, don't buy these. Anti-skid additive, because I don't want to slide. 2-inch paint brushes. 3-inch paint brushes. Now, and a long roller thing. Okay, we're gonna start doing this stuff now because we're ready to be done with the garage floor. Okay, so if you're watching the video, you've probably looked up what's in this box, but for instrument purposes only, here's what's in it. Paint thing, instructions, a stick. The stuff already has etch in it, so you don't have to buy it. I was stupid and did anyway. This is the color additive. And this is the crazy bag that you have to toothpaste and pop and then shake for 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, so you can see all the stuff we have here. We've got our anti-skid stuff. We've got all our pouches. I ordered 5 of the gunmetal. One of them is over there. But Rock Solid sent a copper pot, which is not what we ordered. But I ordered 5, and I only think it's going to take 4 to fill this garage, hopefully. We'll end up finding out, because if not, that's kind of makes it pointless. Okay, so that's the process. We're gonna keep it up. I'm gonna cut the camera and we'll show you guys once it's all painted. Okay, that's what the garage looks like after you paint and swirl. Now we get to wait 8 hours, or 7 hours and 57 minutes. All right guys, so we're on day 4 of the floor. It has now had way more than 24 hours to dry. And we have a couple issues that I was a little worried about. Let me show you. So when we initially put the floor down, I was a little worried because I could see where we had patched the cracks in the floor. Well, as you guys can see, they are still easily seen. So we put as much of the stuff down as we were supposed to. You know, like Rustoleum recommends a super light coat, and it did not cover that. So what I'm gonna be doing today is adding another coat on top of the floor, only where these little veins are where we patched up the cracks. And I've also got more Rustoleum gunmetal stuff to go on the side wall, because you can see like the concrete kind of goes up the side. I tried to paint that with whatever I had left after that 3rd bucket on the 3rd day. So today I'm just gonna get all of the side stuff done. What it's looking like is it took 3 coats to get the floor done, but maybe we should have used thicker coats and used a thicker coating, and maybe ended up using like 4 buckets or something like that. I'm not sure what we should have done to make sure we couldn't have seen the little veins, but it is what it is. Hopefully adding a layer on top of it will fix it. So for the sidewalls, I tried using a paintbrush because I had a little bit left over in that 3rd bucket, but I've got this like rough roller, and I'm going to try to use a rough roller to paint the concrete on the wall. It's a lot rougher concrete, so the paintbrush just doesn't really do a good job. So hopefully this will work for that. Hopefully having 2 containers will do all the work I need to do. Otherwise we're gonna have an unfinished job. Okay, so we're gonna get to it, and hopefully after today, this whole garage floor will be finished and looking solid. Yeah. Oh, also, if you guys notice that the floor looks a little different than everybody else's floor that you watch reviews of, it's because I use that anti-skid additive, and all it does is put little flakes, not flakes, but like granules in the ground, but it makes it so you can't slide. So that way, if like oil gets on the ground when I'm working on my motorcycle or something like that, shouldn't be sliding all over the place, hopefully. So I don't know how that's gonna end up being long term, but I'll let you guys know way down the road. Alright guys, so as you can probably notice, I've got all of the concrete that's up on the walls painted, and after doing that, I can highly recommend getting one of those small rollers. I'll put a link in the description if I can find one, but having a small roller that's made for rough surfaces gets that stuff on so much faster than the paintbrush that I was trying to do the other day. So super good idea with that. Now that the concrete on the walls is finished, I'm gonna move on to, I'm gonna make a new batch of the gunmetal stuff. I guess I'm just gonna pour it over where the vein things are and try to do the swirl. I really don't know how this is gonna work out, but you know, we'll find out. It's the only idea I really have for like how to cover these up. So we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, so I have now, God, the echo is so terrible. So I've gone through the floor and added extra paint on top of that area. Something I noticed while I was doing it is, I believe our main issue when we were putting the floor down is when we were rolling everything on, when I was rolling it here, make sure you roll this stuff on lightly. Don't press hard, because the areas where I didn't press hard and we just lightly rolled the material, it stays thicker because obviously when you press it, it thins out. So what we should have done from the get-go is used more material, rolled it on lighter. Sorry for the audio. All right, so the Apache helicopter is now gone. So when you're putting this floor on, just go light about it. Don't press hard, because I've noticed where I pressed hard, you can almost see the concrete. So the lighter you go, the thicker it'll be, and the better it'll look in the get-go. So all I have now to do is wait for 24 hours. So we'll check back in with the floor and what it looks like then. But so far, I'm thinking it's going to be a lot better. Alright guys, day 5 of this project, and I'm gonna call it as good as it's going to get. So in this process, I have learned a ton of stuff about garage floors and how to use this epoxy rock solid stuff. I've learned so much in that. I'm gonna make an entire other video of like things to not do when putting this garage floor on. The added material I put over those cracked sections worked out really well. As you guys might be able to see, you can't even really see them anymore. And the material on the sidewall ended up being pretty cool as well. So I'm gonna have to call the garage floor done as it is. I have a lot of shit that we gotta move into this garage so we can get back to making my regular motorcycle videos. So unfortunately, I don't have time to make the garage floor perfect. But I do have a lot of knowledge that I'm going to give you guys in a later video about just ways that you can do this and the end product be really nice, because this material has the ability to look really nice. And we'll just say that my garage floor is perfectly imperfect. That's what I'll call it. It's a good product, just all the stuff online is just like not good information. So I'm gonna do you guys a favor, make a later on video. But that's gonna be the end. You can see videos and things of the floor here. And yeah, that's it. I'm Chaseontwowheels. I will see you guys in the next video. I don't know if I can link this material in the description, but if I can, I will. You are not now turning off. Okay, now we get good audio. Awesome. I'm gonna go jump off a cliff. Later. The second I stopped talking.
Wrapped it up 2 times perfectly.
Okay.